Shalom, shalom. Another Freestyle Friday while the world in Babylon, not the world, but the world of Babylon is celebrating the 4th of July or the 4th of July, right? As we like to call it. We're going to be on this Freestyle Friday, right? Going over some precepts and giving a rebuke, right? That's right. Giving a rebuke. Just a little something to look up. You can look this up on y'all's own before we get started, since it is the 4th of July, so-called Independence Day of Babylon the Great, or America the Great, right? Home of the brave. Look this up, right? I think ESPN has an article on him. Jason Pierre-Paul, he lost multiple fingers in the 4th of July fireworks accident back in 2015. The reason why I'm saying that is because on today, I'm praying that the Most High sends his judgment, right, on the earth for people that celebrate things that are wicked, right? Things that are not of God, right? You may be saying, what's not of God about 4th of July? Why can't we eat our pork and grill and things of that nature? Well, 4th of July was a big day for Mystery Babylon. And we know that Mystery Babylon, as talked about in Isaiah, as talked about in Ezekiel, as talked about in Revelation, as talked about all over the Bible, Mystery Babylon is, one of the most wicked nations in the Bible, right? One of the most wicked kingdoms in the Bible. And the beginning or the independence thereof is just as bad. So like if you celebrating that, man, and for the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it wasn't even your Independence Day, right? They gave us an ultimatum if we wanted to fight a war, right? An ultimatum. It wasn't even volunteer. It was an ultimatum, right? So, I pray God gives his judgment, man. I hope it rains. I was praying that it rained. The last two years it's rained on the 4th of July. It sprinkled a little bit, man, but it ain't rain for real, for real. I pray it rains somewhere in America. You know what I'm saying? And I pray God gives judgment. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to blow their fingers off, but if that's what it takes, man, to get to their soul, that's what it's going to take. Nonetheless, we're going to get into the today's lesson, right? We're going to have a discussion, a rebuke, right? And give our viewpoint, my viewpoint. I won't speak for the brothers, but my viewpoint, according to scripture, about a popular topic that's out today, or popular trend that's out today, something that's trending, which is a love show or a reality love game show, right? That has, top of the charts, it's got a whole bunch of viewers, and uh it's just what's popping right now, I guess, right? You got Israelites. I've seen Israelites doing reaction videos of girls fighting and all different type of stuff. So we're gonna get into it, man. I found a clip that I want to go over. It's just a little preview. It's not raunchy at all, just to give y'all a concept of what we're gonna be talking about for those righteous out there that don't know. You know what I'm saying? That don't know what Love Island is. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all unplugged from the matrix for real, right? But if you don't know what it is, I'm gonna show a little preview, man. I picked something that wasn't raunchy or too explicit. Uh, so like, yeah. You got that? You gonna send it? The invite link? Huh? You did already?
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, man. So we're gonna go over this. We're gonna go over this preview real quick, and after that, we're gonna run through some precepts to give you guys either a rebuke if you've been watching it, right, and you've been entertained by it, and you're still entertained by it, or give you a heads up of why you shouldn't. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Before we get into it, I want to say all glory and honor and praise to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who sent his son as an instrument of salvation for the nation. And the nation is Israel. Bear with me too. My computer's glitching like it always does. So my stuff is popping up slow, right? But I'm about to press play. Then I'll just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it well. I'm not gonna play the whole 2 minutes. I'm just gonna play what I think is the gist of the show.
I'm finally starting to feel what all of you guys have felt. I don't want to redo this again.
It's crazy how one decision can change everything.
I was surprised to see you at the bottom all those times. I was surprised to see myself at the bottom. I don't know what I did to you guys. I don't know what I said. I'm genuinely confused.
It's not really playing for
One of
real.
my best friends in here to stand behind.
You
You
said
heard
it's
me?
choppy?
Yeah, it's not giving, man. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
you said
lie.
it's choppy?
Yeah, I said it's not giving, man. It's not giving.
You wanna share your screen and just and like copy put that in the search engine on YouTube.
Yeah, first look, the Islanders get free. Okay. First look, the Islanders get.
We're only gonna pay like the first minute of it.
All right.
He meant at Gmail, not Hmail.
All right. Give me a second.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe this laptop's just getting outdated, bro.
Maybe he's trying to update the software, or you know,
My wife updates it all the time.
maybe I just need some solid Wi-Fi.
I mean, the Wi-Fi works on this computer, and it works for all of our TVs just fine. So I don't know, but
You
Connor,
didn't
man,
get
we're gonna play the first minute.
you didn't get the streaming part, man. The high definition streaming part of the Wi-Fi. But here we go.
I was finally starting to feel what all of you guys have felt. I don't want to redo this again.
It's crazy how one decision can change everything.
I was surprised to see you at the bottom all those times. I was surprised to see myself at the bottom. I don't know what I did to you guys. I don't know what I said. I'm genuinely confused.
If she is open, I'm not gonna say I'm not interested.
For one of my best friends in here to stand behind Taylor just was like a dagger to my heart. Who should be here?
Give her what you say.
You honestly care?
So you and Ace gonna lock in for real now?
I don't know.
That was a text.
Is it good or bad?
All right, you just
Apparently, the crash out hood is coming back.
All right, man. So I mean, y'all saw the gist of what the show's about. So it's a bunch of promiscuity, lasciviousness. It's a lot of that, and then they try to mix in some gaming with it. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to vote on characters and stuff. I don't know completely what the show is like because I haven't watched that one episode. I just hear a whole bunch of people talking about it. Even when I go to therapy to get physical therapy on my leg, my physical therapist and the aides and techs in there are all talking about it, right? But like I said, man, it's Israelites that's doing reaction videos to it, and all different type of foolishness and madness, right? And we see there, like, the man was, one of the men on the show was like, "You want to come lay over here in this bed?" And then, you know what I'm saying, like, another dude asking, "Are you dating somebody else?" And she's like, "I don't know." And then he's like, so we see it's a lot of promiscuity going on. We see it's a lot of adultery and fornication going on in the show, and that's on a PG rated scale, right? The show does get a lot more explicit than that, and they have guests that come on like Meg Thee Stallion and things of that nature that get the viewers involved even more, right? Lusting even more, right? But nonetheless, man, I'm gonna share my screen again and go over these precepts real quick, right? These scriptures real quick. I don't want to beat y'all in the head over them, but somebody may need this video. You know what I'm saying? Somebody may need to see these precepts because they may think what they're doing is harmless. They may think what they're doing is, you know what I'm saying, like the Bible doesn't speak against it. They may think it's just entertainment and, they can do what they want, right? This video is going to just be edification and a rebuke, right? So hopefully it'll edify somebody and hopefully the word gets spread around. Anyway, first precept that's up, first scripture that's up, 2 Timothy 2:22. Is it on the screen yet?
No. Now it is.
Like it is. It is.
Yep. This is 2 Timothy 2:22. It says, "Flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of pure
It says, so up front, man, what we got? Flee youthful lust. Everything on this show, man, is youthful lust. That's all it is. It's stuff that you see in high school and middle school, man. It says, but follow righteousness, right? Follow righteousness. We can all agree, even if you're just watching this show, if you know anything about what the Bible preaches, we can all agree that this show is not righteousness. This is not how the Lord said to get your wife or your husband, right? This is not how he said to conduct yourself when it comes to the opposite sex, right? He didn't say make a mockery of relationships, right? He didn't say to play house either. You know what I'm saying? It says faith, charity, peace. If you watch this show, it's a lot of fighting going on. It's a lot of jealousy and envy. There's no peace in the show. It's a lot of tears in the show. It's a lot of drama, right? The Lord is not the author of that, man. He's the author of, peace. Anyway, it says, with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. You gotta examine your heart, man. Is your heart pure if you're giving into watching something like that? Right. I've been told by plenty of people to go watch it and give it a try. It's actually good. And the first thing I could think of when I'm thinking about the show is I know what it was like when I was watching MTV when I was single in high school, right? VH1, BT, all these reality shows. I know where my mind went, and I don't need it to go there, especially not in a relationship. I'm in a relationship right now. I'm married, right? So it's like I shouldn't be doing that. I'm not even going to give myself over to that, man, because what happens is those spirits in the show, next thing you know, you're going to want to go out and find somebody. You're going to want to, those spirits in the show to where you can just experience multiple partners. You're going to want to start having wandering eyes or wonton eyes when you go out to Publix or Kroger or something, right? It's going to catch up to you. And those that's not married or in a relationship, right, it's going to catch up to you as well, because now you might end up being promiscuous, right? And trying to have the fun that you're seeing on the TV screen. Next thing you know, you're saying, how did I end up here? Right? Let's read this real quick. Colossians 3:5.
This is Colossians 3:5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
Right? When you look at uncleanness, right? When somebody sleeps with somebody else, man, they become unclean, right? You You can't just go and sleep with somebody the same night. You can't go and sleep with somebody the next day. And that's uncleanness. You're watching unclean behavior, right? Inordinate affection. You're watching inordinate affection, man. You seeing people like, y'all get the gist of what the show is. It's inordinate affection, man. You gotta cut that out of your life, even when you're viewing it. Like, you gotta guard your eyes, man. You gotta guard what you take in. Inordinate affection will hop on you because you're watching it, right? That's how people go down a rabbit hole of pornography. Before you know it, you watching something crazy, right? Gateway drug, right? Evil concupiscence, man. Y'all do y'all homework on what concupiscence is, man. And it's saying which is idolatry. It's saying all these things are idolatry, man. Let's get this right. Galatians 5.
Galatians 5:16. It says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh."
Right. And I pulled this because if you're truly walking in the spirit, man, you're not gonna have the lust of the eyes, right? You're not gonna the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes is part of the lust of the flesh because your eyes are part of your flesh, right? If you're walking in the spirit, you're not gonna be walking in your flesh. You're not gonna be given to things that you want to see. Your flesh wants to see. Your flesh wants to be entertained by, right? And so you can talk about it with the next person, right? And so you can laugh about it. And so you can think about it all day, right? You got to walk in the spirit, man. If you truly walking in the spirit, I believe all of us know if we truly walking in the spirit's not going to lead us in that direction of that show. I believe I believe that wholeheartedly, right? I can almost bet my life on that. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this next precept in First John 2:16.
1 John 2:16. "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world."
Right? It's of the world, man. The lust of the eyes is of the world, and we're not supposed to be partakers of the world. We're supposed to hate the world. We're not supposed to conform to the world. But a lot of y'all forget about the lust of the eyes, man. The lust of the eyes is real, right? The lust of your eyes, Instagram causes plenty of people to fall to the lust of their eyes when it comes to relationships, when it comes to material gain, when it comes to possessions, right? When it comes to a lifestyle. Lust of the eyes is big from social media because you want what the next person wants. You want what the next person has, right? You want a husband like what you saw on social media on TikTok. You want a wife like what you saw on TikTok, right? You want a car like what you saw on Instagram, right? You want a job like your homeboy got on Facebook. The lust of the eyes, man. What your eyes want, right? Your eyes have desires. That's crazy because it separates the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes. That means like your flesh has desires, but your eyes have desires as well, man. Your eyes want to lead you astray. You got to control that. You got to possess your own vessel, man, with sanctification and honor and not with concupiscence or lasciviousness, right? Let's get the next one. This one is it's going to be 3 verses, right? Ephesians 2, verses 2 through 4.
This is Ephesians 2, starting at verse 2. It says, "Where in times past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past." You want me to keep continuing?
Right. So, right. In times past, we walked according to this world. Huh? In times past, we walked according to this world, right? We just went over what the world has offered, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, right? According to the prince of the power of the air, right? These principalities in the air want you to do that, right? That work in disobedience, right? Pick up at verse 3 again.
Khan, we've all had our conversation in times past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and we're by nature the children of wrath, even as others. But God, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us.
Right? So in times past, man, right? In the past, we gave into the lust of our flesh and the desires of our flesh and of the mind. But we're not supposed to do that no more. If we do, we got to expect wrath, right? Hey, I understand that you keeping the commandments. I understand you keeping the holy days. You wearing your fringes. You preaching the word. But you giving in to a show like Love Island when you know you shouldn't be watching it. Guess what? God's wrath can come upon you. You can lose your job, and you wondering why you lost your job. It's because of you watching something that you shouldn't be watching. The lust of the eyes, the desires of the flesh and of the mind. Right? God's wrath can come upon you. You could lose your car. You could lose a family member. All of that, right? Let's get the next one, man.
Con, this
Matthew
is
7:13.
This is Matthew 7:13, and it says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat."
Right? Enter the straight gate, man. Broad is destruction. I'm always telling people, watch out for trends. If something's trendy, man, off rip, you know what I'm saying? God, to be on the safe side, I would not try to do whatever the trend is, follow whatever the trend is, right? Whenever there's a new celebrity that hops on the scene, whether there's a new politician that hops on the scene, or whether it's a new trendy song, whether it's a new trendy food item, a new trendy show. If a lot of people talking about it, raving about it, a lot of people like it, guess what? You got to kind of question it, because broad is the way to destruction. You got to question it because it might lead you to destruction, right? It might lead you to destruction, but it says enter into the straight gate, right? The next verse is 14.
Verse 14, it says, "Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it."
Right? Only a few people gonna find it, right? If only a few people gonna find it, that means the majority of people is looking somewhere else. So you want to be one of those few that's looking behind the scenes, right? That's not giving into the media. That's not giving into the news. That's not giving into certain things that are on the headlines, right? You want to be the few. Right, let's read this real quick. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 5.
Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 5:5, it says, "Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin."
Right. Be not without fear to add sin unto sin. Just because you have a propitiation, or just because you have a debt that was settled, or just because you have a pardon, that don't mean to go add sin to sin. Don't be without fear to add sin to sin, right? What is that pretty much saying? Don't have the doctrine of the Nicolaitans. Don't think that you're free to do what you want to do, right? Don't think that you know what I'm saying, there's no reins on you. There's no laws for you to keep because you're free in Christ, or you're free because you have the knowledge of the truth, or you're free because you know what the truth is, or the truth shall set you free, and you think you're free now from everything, and there's no condemnation against you. All of that stuff right there is of the enemy. It's of Hashatan. It's from Satan, man, the adversary, to get you to go down a path of destruction. Right? Let's go to verse 6.
Ecclesiasticus 5:6, it says, "And say not his mercy is great, He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners.
Man, he can attack your baby. He can attack your marriage. He can attack your job. He can attack whatever you think he can't attack, man. He can attack it and make your life turn upside down. He can attack that land you just bought, right? He can attack any of that. You thinking the Most High God has mercy. He knows we in captivity. I don't have to keep the Sabbath. He know we in captivity. He know I'll be bored and I don't got nothing else to watch. It's nothing else that's to watch. He knows where my heart is. I would never do this stuff that I'm watching, right? Don't say that his mercy is great. The Most High God mercy is not that great. His mercy is great in the aspect of he didn't have to give it to us. But his mercy is not that great to where it just trumps sin.
Here's my thing too.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say too, man. You know, a lot of people, and we've talked about this. You know, especially when it comes to like the Sabbath day and stuff like that, right? And brothers kind of bank on the mercy of the Most High to look past certain things that they do on the Sabbath and whatnot. One thing I want to get people to understand about the God's mercy, the Most High mercy is, it's not a shoe-in. It's not a thing that's a shoe-in, right? The mercy is found out at the end, really, right? So you don't want to go into any situation banking that you're going to have mercy, right? The Most High said he doesn't give any man license to sin, right? And so when you take that, you have to understand that he's you know, he might wink at somebody's sin for a certain reason, you know, but that's on the back end. That's in the after he's assessed the action or the you know, the decision that you made. But don't go into a decision or an action with premeditated sin because he's not giving you license to do so. Sometimes we get caught up in sticky situations and we're forced to do certain things that we might not want to do, right? That the Most High might have mercy on. But don't go into a situation banking on the Lord's mercy, because that mercy is not a shoe-in thing up front. That mercy comes in after you make the decision, after you do the action, right? And even then, it's still not a guarantee. So don't go around your life, go around life banking on that mercy, right? We talk about all the time. A lot of people get that I am David, I have the favor of the Most High on my life type of spirit, and you can do no wrong. Do not bank on that, because a lot of us are not David. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's just the truth of the matter. Do not bank on mercy, because when you get to meet your maker and he asks you why you did something, right? And you say, well, I thought I was going to get mercy for it. He's going to say, well, you're not getting mercy, and let's go back to my law to see where how to handle this, right? Because at the end of the day,
sinner.
Exactly, because he does not give any man license to sin. The mercy that he gives is up to him. So you can't bank on that when you're pleading for your life, if that makes sense. But
Con, man. So it says his indignation rests upon sinners. Sinners are a lot of times, you know, people come to the knowledge of the truth, and people think that if you're not in the knowledge of the truth, that's who God's wrath can touch. God's wrath can touch you too, just because you got a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of scholarship, just because you changed your life a little bit. Hey, if you still in sin, God's wrath could come upon you, man. He don't care that, you know what I'm saying, you in a tight spot and you can't keep the Sabbath. He don't care if you know, there's nothing to eat at the restaurant but abominations and you hungry, right? Get you a glass of water, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't care about your excuses. If you sin, what is sin? If you go against his commandments and his laws, that makes you a sinner. Guess what? You can be touched by his wrath. It don't matter who you are, right? David, it didn't matter for David. His son still died. You could be touched by God's wrath if you commit sin. Stop thinking you special. Stop thinking that, you know, the Most High God has a relationship with you where he understands and he knows who you are deep down inside, and he knows, hey, man, stop being a sinner. Stop slipping into sin. Yeah, his mercy is great, like I said, because he didn't have to give it. But his mercy is not great in the aspect of it's going to cover you in all your sin. The lust of the eyes, what we talking about tonight. the stuff that you consume with your eyes. You can say it don't matter what you watch. It does matter what you watch. That's how people get addicted to porn. That's how people get addicted to gambling, really. You know what I'm saying? That's how people get addicted to so many things. That's how people get addicted to cheating, right? And adultery and fornication. It's from the desires of the eyes, the wanton eyes, the lust of the eyes. So you got to guard yourself and the things that you take in, right? That you watch, because it'll hop on your life. The stuff will play in your dreams. Next thing you know, you're dreaming about something you don't want to dream about because you watched it. And next thing you know, now you're doing some of the acts that you were watching, man. So that's why you gotta, tighten up. Tighten up. But that's the last precept I have. If the brothers got precepts, we can go over them. And if not, we can shut down because I believe we are gonna get on tomorrow as well, Lord willing.
I got one precept you can bring out. Can you go to Ecclesiastes? Slakia. Can you go to 2nd Esdras 5 and 27? I want to say, or is it 42? Well, we'll see when we get there. It's in the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 5, though, the 5th chapter. I can't remember it's the 27th or the 42nd verse. Nah, keep going down. Right, it's verse 42.
Oh yeah.
Verse 42. So this is 2nd Esdras 5 and 42, and it says, and he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first. So you see all throughout the word, right? You see it in 1 Peter, you see it in Deuteronomy 7, you see it in 2nd Esdras 5, you see it in Sirach 35, 18, how the Lord is always saying his judgment is going to hit everybody. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who you are, because again, we get into the truth, right? And sometimes we think we're a little bit above the law, right? We above the set. But like the brother Danal said, we did a lesson a little over a year ago. Hey, nobody's bigger than the set, man. Nobody's bigger than the program. And you just got to remember that at all times you have to guard, you have to protect yourself. And a lot of times people think that we got to protect ourselves from other spirits, which is true, right? Which is true. But people think them spirits are going to come by way of just other people. No, sometimes you got to protect yourself from yourself, because there's spirits that try to hop on you that if you don't put your guard up or have your guard up at all times, you're going to get hit. And the thing what happens is when you get hit, now you're being judged for it because you allowed this to happen, right? You may say, well, I didn't. But at the end of the day, hey, the Lord says you did. And then you have moments where you realize, dang, you know what? The Lord did give me a way to escape, to a way to flee this youthful lust, to flee this fornication, right? But I didn't take it. So at all times, you just got to remember that, hey, the Lord is going to judge you regardless of who you are, regardless of what you may know according to the scriptures and the history, regardless of your status. His judgment is like unto a ring, what goes around comes around, right? And that's why I wanted to read Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because all it says, and I'll short sum it up, all it says is, because sentenced for an evil work, right? Because your sin is not being judged right then and there as soon as you commit it, people think it's okay for them to do what they do. And that's not the case. So you got to be careful, because again, Brother Azrael always says, hey, sometimes the Lord just gives you enough rope to hang yourself with. You may think that you got all this grace and mercy because you're David, but the truth is, nah, the Lord is just building a rapport against you, and it's going to be used against you in the day of judgment, in the day of the Lord's wrath. In the day that you thought you was going to receive mercy, nah, you're going to receive recompense. So that's my little 2 cents in, just for, staying in the spirit and staying disciplined and staying the course to the word of the Lord. Right. But I yield.
Man. Mighty point. Mighty point. And I do want to read Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Well, first of all, Dan, you got any precepts?
I can't think of any right now.
We'll just end with these two. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. God ain't punishing me for watching that. It's just a show. God ain't punishing me for doing that. I know He got mercy on me, bro, because I've had this job for a minute now, and God ain't been punishing me for not keeping the Sabbath, bro. He understands, right? That's what people say, because they're not judged. Like people say that they would rather be judged immediately so they know right from wrong, but they really don't want to be judged immediately, right? So by default, God let them think what they're doing is right because He's giving them the desire of their heart, right? Because eventually He's just going to give you over to a reprobate mind, right? He's going to give you to the desire of your heart, whether that be good or evil, and then you'll think that you're doing good, right? Verse 12 says, "Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before Him." So, all in all, we just, as believers, we got to keep doing what we're doing, and we got to stop following the ways of the world, right? And stop following a multitude to do evil, right? With that, I'm gonna say
I
shalom.
got
Most
one.
High
I got
will.
one.
We will.
I got one. I got one.
All right. You can share your screen.
Yeah. It's a classic one, man. Something light, but I guess I'll share it. And again, man, New Testament, man. I love sharing New Testament scriptures because people can't run from them. Romans 6 and 1, it says, "What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound?" Right? And of course, we know the answer to that. It says, "God forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?" Right? Just hammering the nail on the head, just to say, man, just because whatever newfound faith you feel like you got, whatever newfound relationship you feel like you have with God or the Most High, um, whether you feel like you're saved or not, do not for 1 second think that your grace is going to cover the sin that you willfully do, right? Even if you think that there's an occasion for you to sin, and it's logical in your mind, always take the high road and don't do it, right? You always want to play it more rather safe than sorry. You don't want to toe the line, right? Because being in this truth is already towing the line in itself, right? Because of the things that we've done in our past life before we were new creatures, before we were born again, man. So just to add that in there, I wanted to squeeze that in. It came into me last minute. So Sean,
Con, man. Once again, mighty points. Mighty points, man. We got to become new creatures in this thing and have a renewed mind. We can't think like we used to think. We got to actually, it's okay to be a little over righteous with yourself every now and then to keep yourself on the straight and narrow, man. But we say shalom. Hope you guys are enduring. Hope you guys, are having a good start to your Sabbath days. If you celebrate it on the seventh day of the week. And try to get some sleep, man. I know it sound like bombs going off, man, because of these wicked celebrations, but try to get some sleep, man. You know what I'm saying? If you got gunshots going off around you, you know what I'm saying? I'm praying for your safety. Got fireworks going on, and you got newborn kids, and you got dogs and stuff. I've been there too. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying for y'all too. You feel me? The boy said, "Welcome back, Zay. We miss you." Shout out to the brother Obadiah, man.
Miss you too, Op.
Shout out to the brother Obadiah. Hey, we gonna have to, reconvene, man. You know what I'm saying, and do like a unity or something. I know what's been said, man, but I mean, it's been a long time, man. We'll see, maybe one day, praying, Lord willing. You feel me? We can run it back, man. But nonetheless, man, we gonna say shalom. We off this thing. Hopefully, this was edifying, man, to those that are questioning whether they should continue watching this show or if they should give the show a chance, man. Don't give in to the world, man. Don't give in to what the world's doing. But shalom.